Hello everyone, thank you for joining me and welcome to this tutorial of this personal finance Google Sheets template. Now this template was built with everything in mind as far as your personal finances, so you'll be able to create your custom budgets, you'll be able to create the accounts that you want to track your net worth, you're going to have all your analytics tools built into here that are really going to help you make your goals and then track your progress against those goals. Now there's two reasons you might have stumbled upon this video. Number one, if you've already purchased this template, thank you and congratulations taking that first step to taking control of your financial future. And you're looking for this tutorial to help you understand how to use it. And this is really going to be a great resource for you to make sure you're setting it up properly, using it properly, and getting the most value out of it. Now, if you just stumbled upon this because you're interested in learning about what budgeting tools are out there, or if you're looking for a tool that you can take advantage of, but you haven't yet purchased it, you can find more information out about how to get this template above. I'll have it linked above, and then I'll also put it in the YouTube description below. But with that, we'll go ahead and jump into it. I'm really going to kind of hit on a high level of what's included in the template for you, and then I'm also going to go into a step-by-step, page-by-page tutorial as well. So let's dive right into it. So when you first open up your copy of this template, you're going to see this home page here, and this is really intended to give you the most simple navigation possible to navigate the spreadsheet. I know some people complain that you have these kind of tabs at the bottom and you have to scroll across 20 tabs to get to the one you want. So this home page here is going to be a great resource for you to navigate throughout your spreadsheet. And then along the left-hand side here, these clearly indicate where you need to enter your data into. So you'll be able to create your custom categories. You're going to enter in all of your transactions. You're going to have your account balances that you'll enter at the end of each month. And then you also have here, everything else is automatically calculated for you. So you've got your monthly report pages from January to December. And then you've got your analytics dashboards to show you kind of a summary across all your finances for the year. A deep dive on your income, your investments, taxes, expenses, and net worth. So we'll start to tick through each of these, but the first thing you're going to want to do is set up your custom categories. To navigate between these, you just click on the link. It'll pull up this little drop-down link here. Click on that, and then it's going to take you right to it. So here, let me move this out of your way. Here you can see this custom setup page. So you have up to 20 income, 20 investment, 20 tax, and 20 expense categories. I've got some filled out here, but you can enter in anything that you want, and these are going to automatically populate into the rest of the tabs. You don't have to use all 20. You could use 5, you could use 10, you can use different amounts for each of these different financial categories, but you're going to want to enter those in. And then you can also, from a navigation standpoint, every page will let you get directly back to that home page, but it'll also let you get to the next page in that section or the previous page in that section. So we'll jump ahead to the transactions page here. And this is really where you're going to operate for the most part throughout the year. You can either enter this in on a daily basis, a weekly basis, or just do it all at once at the end of the month. What I personally do is I use my phone and I just go to the notes tab. I have an expenses or transactions notepad in there, and then I just enter it. And every time I spend money, every time I earn money, every time I invest money, that goes into that notepad, and then I fill it out once at the end of the month. So when you're going through this, I've already got some information entered in here just so you can have some meaning behind the dashboards that we'll cover later. But really you'll just enter in the date of the expense or transaction. You'll select what type of transaction it is. So let's say this one was income. It's going to give you a conditional drop down here that's going to be all of those income categories that you entered on the setup step. If you selected a different category like investment, it's going to give you all your investments, and same thing for taxes and expenses. So for this one, we'll say it's income, it's wages and tips, and you made $500. If you want to keep more detailed notes, then you can use this last column here just to track down what was the earning for, or what was the purpose of the expense. And then up here, it's going to automatically calculate in your total number of transactions across those different transaction types. And just to show you, going back to the home page, so we were here, we navigated from this page directly to transactions, and now we're going to go into account balances. But again, you can navigate in between these using this navigation panel up top here. So here's your financial accounts. And again, you can track your custom accounts in here. So I have a few sample ones entered in just for the purposes of having data in the template. But you can track your different asset accounts, retirement, and liability accounts. So asset accounts are things that are intended to be more liquid, not necessarily long-term investments. So here we have cash, we have our checkings account, we have our savings account. Retirement are things that really you're not supposed to touch until you get to retirement, which really I don't want to say retirement age, but the time you're ready to retire, which is not necessarily an age, it's more of a financial number for when it makes sense for you. But things like a 401k, a Roth IRA, and then your different liabilities, your credit cards, your auto loans, your mortgages. If you had student loans, all of those would go into that category. And then at the end of each month, you should enter in here what your monthly end of month balance was for these different accounts. And this will be calculated up here automatically based on the latest month of data you've entered. So all these here are calculated based on September because that's as far as you went. When you went to October's data, these will all be updated to show you October and so on. And then each of the monthly report tabs, these are going to be automatically updated. And here, again, you have the easy navigation between the months if you don't want to keep jumping back to the home page. You've got a summary section up here that's going to show you your income, investments, taxes, and expenses for that month, as well as these nice charts down here. This one's going to show you a cash flow summary taking you from, you had your gross income, you took out money for investments. We consider that an expense because you're paying yourself. We took out money for taxes, your actual expenses like groceries and housing and so on. And then it shows you what was your net income after all of those. And that's really net income that you could have for additional savings or investments or potentially to put away for a vacation fund or something like that. And then you've got your different pie charts here showing you how your income, investments, taxes, and expenses were broken down between the different categories you had entered. These are all, again, automatically imported and calculated. You don't enter any data into this tab. It's all 100% calculated for you. And also give you some information here on what your top categories were. So I earned the most money in wages and tips. I invested the most via my work retirement account. My biggest tax was federal income, and my biggest expense was household. So each month that'll update. And it'll also show you what your savings rate is. And that's calculated as your net income plus your investments, because really, even though we treated investments as an expense, it is you putting away money for the future and should be considered as savings. And then we divide that by your gross income. So this month there was a net savings, a savings rate of 24%. And what's really nice about this navigation up here is I can visualize this quickly, and then I can compare it to February, and I can see how the numbers change, compare it to March. And it's nice that you can jump back and forth in between those months here. And then throughout the year, you'll also want to make sure to check in on these dashboards. So the summary dashboard here is going to have a little bit of all your different financial information. So here we can see all of those different metrics like the income, investments, taxes, and expenses. So far, this sample set of data has earned $67,000, put away $12,000 for investments, spent $16,000 on taxes, and then another $28,000 on other expenses. And then the rest of the charts up here will look very similar to what we just saw in the monthly tab, but now you're looking at it on an annual basis. And you can see the individual categories as well if you want a little bit more of a granular look into each of those different categories you set up. And then your yearly savings rate here is calculated as well, which currently for this data set is sitting at 33%. And then if you want a deep dive into the other individual categories, you can go next into the income category here, where it's going to, again, show you your gross income, but also show you your top income category, your that top category, which is wages and tips, how much you earned in it, how many total income categories you had. And then you can see here a nice chart showing you your monthly income throughout the year across those different earning categories. And you can also see it here in just more of a table form. So it's really depending on the type of person you are. Do you like to see things in a chart, or do you like to see them in a table? You've got both options here. And then you can go a step further as far as granularity and detail and see how much you earned each month across each of those categories. And then the other dashboards will look pretty similar, except now we're talking about investments. So a lot of that same data, just looking for that across your actual investments, same data across the taxes you've spent, same data across the expenses. This one is really where I think you're going to have the most number of categories, and you're really going to want to dig into here to see where are you spending the most of your money, where are you going above your budget. So on each one of these charts that we've seen, if you just hover over it, it'll tell you the number. It can be kind of difficult to tell when you have this many categories, how much am I spending on hygiene. Just hover over it and it'll give you the detailed number there. And then the last dashboard here is the net worth dashboard. So this is taking your assets, adding in your retirement accounts, subtracting out your liabilities, and that's going to give you your net worth over here. So you'll be able to track this throughout the year because you're entering in your monthly account balances across each of those different types of accounts. And over here you can see your net worth summary. So we've got 18,000 in assets, we've got 240,000 in retirement. Then we're subtracting out those liabilities of 157,000, and that's where we get to our net worth of about 102,000. And you can see across those different account types how that's being broken down. So I can see here I've got $850 in cash, 4,500 in checking, and then another 13,000 in savings. And you can do that across all these different charts, and then have a nice little line chart here to show you, is your net worth trending in the right direction, trending up throughout the year, or is it staying flat, or is it going down? And you can just see a little bit more detail down here for each of those different account types. And then your top categories will be automatically calculated for you too. Your biggest asset account is your savings, your biggest retirement account is your 401k, and then your biggest liability is your credit card. Okay, so that covers all of the different tabs. There's a lot in here, but as you can see, going through that step by step, it's really not complicated. All you're going to do again is enter your data into these tabs, which are clearly marked as data entry, and then everything else automatically calculated. The charts are automatically built, and then it can really help you visualize your financial performance and hopefully help you improve that performance if depending on your goals that you're trying to achieve. But thank you again for watching, and also just as a reminder, if you are interested in getting this spreadsheet for yourself, there'll be more information in the description below. We'll get a link right there where you can find out how to purchase and also get more information. But thanks for watching. If you want to be notified for future financial or budget or other spreadsheet templates, go ahead and subscribe. And if you got value from this, I appreciate you giving me a thumbs up. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you here on the next one.